Welcome to Carolina News Now. I am Chandler Morgan. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. If you're here with us, we have made it through the week. And hey, happy early Halloween to you too. We know it's a holiday weekend and we want to get you caught up on the biggest stories this week ahead. We've got some stories about the supply chain shortage, how it's impacting actually Halloween costumes and right in the grocery stores. But we do want to start with a story that is a little concerning to some parents in Charlotte. They say that they've been seeing coyotes creeping around in their neighborhood, and especially with the Halloween weekend coming up, they want to make sure that they're keeping their kids safe. So we have WBTV's Morgan Newell checking it out from Charlotte.
In this southeast Charlotte neighborhood, the most animal sounds you'll hear during the day is scurrying squirrels or barking dogs. But at night, it's a different story.
It's an eerie sound.
Neighbors spotted what they think are coyotes while walking at night in the neighborhood.
It had sort of orangey, different colored thing. An ugly creature.
Sarah Pay saw one in her backyard.
So really worry about the hawks and the owls. We have so many in the neighborhood here, and now we've kind of shifted our fears towards the coyotes.
Pay is less worried about herself and her family and more worried about little Sushi, her pug. Those spikes she adorns isn't just a Halloween costume.
I mean, it certainly creates some anxiety, and I don't tend to be a worrier, but you know, we've had some thoughts for sure. You know, just like, do we let her out?
Speaking of Halloween, Pay says she is taking some extra precautions with her kids as they embark on the nighttime candy crawl, just in case something that goes bump in the night isn't just a scary bedtime story.
I think it would be wise for parents to take their kids out before it gets too dark. I would absolutely make that decision.
Even though she feels more than likely a coyote won't come near their neighborhood with all the candy commotion going on, Pay still feels safety tops all.
My fear would be that if someone did see one, that it would really scare a child. And I certainly would not want to see any children being scared on Halloween. It's scary enough as it is.
It is scary enough. So what's the weather going to look like? Are we going to have any scary storms or anything to keep us from enjoying trick-or-treating? We're going to get a check of the weather now with Adam Clark.
Hello there, I'm meteorologist Adam Clark for Carolina News Now. We've got some rain that's moving through. There's a huge area of low pressure that's making its way through the Carolinas. It's actually just up to our north. It's a big system that's going to be with us even for our Friday afternoon. Some scattered showers are possible throughout North Carolina and South Carolina, but most of the moisture is up to our north and west. Heavier showers up around the upstate of South Carolina and into the mountains of North Carolina as well. So this low kind of meanders its way up to the north and east. Here it is Saturday, 6 in the morning. Most of the rain is in the Cumberland Plateau, but here in South Carolina and North Carolina, we've got some sunshine to start our day. That's not to say more clouds won't build in. That low moves into Pennsylvania. We've got some sprinkles and some showers, and it will be on the breezy side as well. We're looking at winds gusting up to around 20 miles per hour. So a kind of a breezy day for our Friday and also Saturday. So as we take a look at Saturday evening, we've got a few sprinkles here and there in South Carolina, North Carolina, partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy conditions and still on the breezy side. By Sunday, high pressure is building in. It's looking pretty good as this high moves in from the west. It clears up our skies. It's looking pretty good for the afternoon with lots of sunshine for your Halloween trick-or-treating. Looking pretty good because this big low finally exits. It pushes up to the north, and we've got high pressure building for Monday as well. So Monday's looking good at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you, Adam Clark, getting a check of the weather for us. Now we want to go to Charleston, South Carolina, where parents there are concerned. They said that one woman actually came outside and assaulted some students as they were coming home from school. Now, deputies are investigating. We've got Summer Hector reporting.
Roberta Klein is charged with third-degree assault and battery, according to court documents. I spoke to two parents who say they want more answers from law enforcement.
I am very outraged. How could you let a woman come with a $500 personal bond that physically and mentally hurt my child, my grandson?
Roberta Klein was released from jail today in order to stay 100 feet away from Ethel Madison's grandchild. She is charged with assaulting Madison's grandson. I went by her house today, but her husband said they did not want to comment on any of these accusations until they have a lawyer.
She's allowed to do that. She's allowed to touch a minor child, somebody else's child. Because I don't understand that. Why wasn't she charged for touching her child?
Jamacia Savage claims that Klein touched her son and said offensive and inappropriate things about his weight and appearance.
I'm concerned about the children that's coming out of that school. We have some that are so little they look like they're from preschool. And they live down the street so they can walk down the street. They come through that way.
Jamacia Savage tells me she is now working on getting a lawyer. For Carolina News Now in Charleston, Summer Hector, Live 5 News.
Summer, thank you. We want to check in now and see where everybody is watching from. If you're watching on Facebook Live, leave us a comment on where you're watching from. We're going to get a story now here from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is probably a story that you've seen in your own grocery store. You go to check out and then you're looking at everything and wow, it's pricier than what you usually would be paying. We're going to get a check now about how the supply chain shortage is causing an impact in grocery stores. We've got WBTV's Caroline Hicks reporting from Charlotte.
Maybe about 4 months ago, we started noticing a slower trend of deliveries coming in.
General Manager Paul Hahn says getting the international foods that Super G Mart is known for is tough right now. But it's not just those unique items from overseas that are hard to come by.
Fresh fish, fresh produce, meat and stuff. And then now we're also seeing it in the general merchandise, so to say. So like the staples, cereals, toilet paper, like you said, just ketchup, jam, everything. It's just kind of slowing down on how fast we can supply it.
Hahn says they added more vendors and started buying cheaper brands.
We've had to increase our purchase as well. So instead of before buying like, let's say a pallet or 10, 15 cases, now they're having us buy like a whole container and just split it among our stores.
With that, prices have gone up.
I just come to accept it at this point. I know it's going to be a lot more, but what are you going to do? You still have to go out shopping.
The supply chain issues don't seem to be going away, and in some cases, they're having to get a little creative to keep these shelves stocked.
If 100 grams of meat costs something, if we have to try to sell that 100 gram again, the price is going to be a little bit too high. So we'll just reduce that to like a 70 gram package size, so the price hit isn't as hard.
As Hahn does what he can to keep the prices down, shoppers are also changing their habits.
Well, I noticed the poultry, the beef is going up. That's why I'm turning to vegetables now, going back vegan.
That was Caroline Hicks reporting. Now, the supply chain shortage is also impacting things like getting your perfect Halloween costume. WIS's Nick Neville is here with an update on how people are managing.
Customers tell me they've had a difficult time locating desired costumes, with one customer saying she searched for weeks and struck out every time. Another customer tells me he went to 4 stores before finally finding what he needed here at Halloween Express.
So lo and behold, the only one around town found a banana. Last one, so thankful that I found this one.
Bruce Vestal has been searching far and wide for a banana costume.
My son needed a banana, so I have been running all over town, Walmart, Target, Lowe's, all the dollar stores, Dollar General, trying to find a banana, and lo and behold, my wife told me about this store that she found surfing the internet.
Halloween Express has a healthy supply of costumes, but they have seen some issues. Michael Myers masks sold out quickly, and there's been difficulty getting anime costumes and some decorations. Manager Pam Taylor says supply chain issues forced the owner to do things differently this season and order lots of extra merchandise. Olivia Workman's search for a costume finally ended here.
Specifically, I've been looking for like butterfly or fairy wings. I have not been able to find them anywhere. Amazon is back ordered to November, early December, and Halloween Express is the only place that had them, so that's what I'm here doing today.
Other local Halloween shops are filled with empty shelves, with store management saying they face shipment delays. With her son having his mind set on one costume, Pamela Drafts says the shortage has been tough.
So we went to Walmart looking for just an all-black costume. He couldn't find anything there. It was a headache because, you know, kids want what they want. And then we went to this, over here by the gas station, just a little place where they sell the fireworks, and they had a costume set now. Yeah, couldn't find anything there. And I saw his face was looking all kind of anxious, so I was like, let's go back to the location we went to Saturday, and he found something.
Well, Halloween Express staff say they're prepared for the Halloween rush as of right now. They say it's too late to do any special orders. They encourage those who haven't gotten their costume yet to come and get it quickly because supplies are going fast. For Carolina News Now, I'm Nick Neville in West Columbia for WIS News 10.
All right, thanks, Nick. We're going to go across South Carolina now and go over to Myrtle Beach, where we are learning more about a teacher who has been charged with a DUI after a crash that killed a 27-year-old woman. WNBF reporter Catherine Phillips is learning that this isn't the first time that this teacher has been charged with something.
Records from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division show he has multiple previous arrests for DUI. Now, Horry County Schools has confirmed that he was a teacher at Ocean Bay Middle School. Now, the person who was killed in this crash was 27. Her name was Lisa Watts, and she was actually studying to become a teacher, too.
She'd always felt called to be a teacher, and so she was pursuing her degree in teacher education. She actually only had one semester left.
27-year-old Lisa Watts was one of Becky Hubbard's students at Horry Georgetown Tech. Hubbard says she already had a degree in culinary arts and was working on transferring to Coastal Carolina to live out her calling of being a teacher.
A very sweet person, and I could tell that she cared about children.
But Sunday night, it was stolen from her. She lost her life in a deadly crash on Carolina Forest Boulevard and Stafford Drive, sitting at the stoplight in the back seat. That's when investigators say a Jeep driven by 52-year-old Michael Arthur crashed into her. South Carolina Highway Patrol charged him with a felony DUI resulting in death. Horry County Schools confirming he's a teacher at Ocean Bay Middle and currently on paid administrative leave. The district says he's worked there since 1999. But it's not his first DUI. Records from SLED show he was first arrested for one in March of 2005. Then again in April of 2009, each time labeled as a first offense and found guilty to both of them. In May 2011, he was arrested for DUI again, this time in the second offense. But court records show the charge was dismissed. 15th Circuit Solicitor Jimmy Richardson says it was dismissed due to insufficient evidence.
He was convicted of 2 out of the 3. Unfortunately, now we're going to have to deal with a very elevated third charge, which is 1 to 25 on a felony DUI with death.
Horry County Schools could not tell us whether or not he was placed on administrative leave for those previous arrests. Reporting for Carolina News Now, I'm Catherine Phillips, WNBF in Carolina Forest.
Catherine, thank you. Well, have you ever thought about why the housing market is so red hot right now? I mean, if you're experiencing trying to move and purchase a house, then you know this to be true. It is just hard. The demand is high. But really, why are these factors playing into this? We've got a reporter here, Michael Prats, joining us now, looking into why the housing market is so hot and why Wilmington in particular is getting a lot of notice.
Ask anyone looking to buy a home in southeastern North Carolina and you'll know that the housing market right now is red hot. So what factors are contributing to this?
We've just got approved about 2 months ago for our home loan. So we've been looking on and off for like the last year, but we've really got serious over the last 2 months.
Sarah Posey and her husband are first-time home buyers, and they're finding out the hard way just how difficult it is to settle down in the Wilmington area.
you know, we both work a lot, so we'll find something, say a Monday or a Tuesday, and we'll shoot, you know, Jeanette, our realtor, a message and say, hey, I like this house. Let's go check it out. And so we, you know, by the time we have a weekend come around, it's gone.
It's a story that broker Amanda Palmer has heard time and time again. But why? Palmer says that after the 2008 housing crisis, the area was finally starting to see the market return to normal around 2018 naturally. But then, disaster hit.
Properties were appreciating, builders were building more, and then we had Florence. Florence wiped out a bunch of the inventory in an already kind of heating up market.
Florence worsened the housing crunch in southeastern North Carolina. Then, the world was rocked by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, which created its own set of problems.
A lot of the builders now are really kind of have mothballed a lot of their production. They're afraid that they're going to be losing money if they're putting houses on the ground by the time it gets completed due to a lot of the material shortages.
Jake Wire is a realtor in Wilmington. He says supply chain issues, labor shortages, and production costs means less houses are being built, and those on the market are being gobbled up by what he calls domestic migration.
And I think people are moving to places that have a beach or have mountains or have some sort of natural resource, because I think people are starting to realize that, like, once you turn off, you know, society a little bit, what are you going to do?
That migration has not only led to a red-hot housing market in Wilmington and New Hanover County, but surrounding areas that have previously been seen as more affordable options.
And the more that we look, I mean, say a home on our side of town, we can compare it to something out in Castle Hayne or even over in Leland. It's not as any more cheaper to live there and to cut our want to be close to the beach.
The Posies aren't sold on the idea of grabbing the first thing that comes their way, but how long will it take to find their dream home? It's a question they ask each time another house goes off the market.
So we're trying to be a little bit more realistic and say, okay, well, if we're going to buy a home, we want a home. We know what we want, but what's it going to be like in 5 years? You know, are we going to be cut short because we splurged on something so quickly?
Of course, one big question people have now is whether or not we're going to see another bubble burst. But everyone I spoke with seems to think that's not going to be the case like we saw in 2008. Instead, they expect things to slowly level off. For Carolina News Now, I'm Michael Pratt, WECT News.
All right, Michael, thank you. We want to go over now closer to eastern North Carolina. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we probably all know somebody who has been affected by breast cancer or maybe even battling it right now. We're bringing you a story now of a man who is using his gardening skills to help the love of his life. We've got Hannah Jeffries here with this feel-good story for you on a Friday.
I'm about to introduce you to the man behind these mums. He tells me now that he's retired, he's using his passion to benefit a cause close to his heart. Kenny Laughinghouse spends his days doctoring his precious mums. If he's not tying up a stem,
it's not going to hurt it a bit. Many times I've done it.
He's hauling plants from his house to the road front.
And there's days during the summertime, you know, when the heat index is well over 100, you know, I don't have a dry stitch on me.
All of that hard work is going to support a cause close to his heart.
I go over there, you know, with my wife, and I sit out, you know, wait for my wife for, you know, 45 minutes or an hour.
Laughinghouse is talking about his wife, Brenda, who he drives to the cancer center at Carolina East for treatment of metastatic breast cancer.
And I see a lot of people that I know. It hurts. And they're no longer here.
So he's donating all of the proceeds from his mom's sale to the State Employees Credit Union Cancer Center. And while he says he doesn't get a penny out of it,
because they're getting so pretty and top heavy,
he gets a feeling like no other.
I'm gonna tell you what, it's been so nice. You really have. I mean, it's hard to explain because, you know, you have people come up here and they say, I can't find mums like this nowhere.
Decades-long neighbors say they support Laughinghouse not only because the money goes to a good cause, but
I heard about it and his mom's looked so much better than mine. I went and got down and got some of them.
As his green thumb gives him the motivation to keep going.
As long as I can get up every morning and be vertical, I'm going to do it.
Now, as far as an update goes, Laughinghouse tells me that Brenda is doing well. Reporting for Carolina News Now, I'm Hannah Jeffries, WITN News, Craven County.
All right, Hannah, thank you. And we have actually got a very special clip of Hannah that we want to share with you on this Friday. A really big moment in Hannah's life. The news station sent this over where she works. She works in WITN, and she was actually proposed to over the weekend. So we've got a clip here that we want to show you. She had no idea it was coming. Listen in.
Getting engaged is one of the most important moments in someone's life. It represents two people committing to each other. One woman got a big surprise when her engagement happened sooner than she thought. For this story, though, I'm going to need a special guest to help complete the picture. Someone near and dear to my heart. Wait, really?
Hey.
Drew?
Good morning.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Will you marry me?
Yes.
You can see just how excited she was. Congratulations, Hannah. What an awesome moment. Again, totally a surprise. Her co-workers helped plan the whole thing. You'll see them come out here, and they were hiding her now fiance there on set all morning. This happened at the end of their newscast, WITN's newscast. You can see there her co-workers. And her producer actually switched out her script last minute. So essentially the producer said, hey, we've got this extra story for you. We need you to read it real quick at the end of the newscast. And little did she know it was actually a script that she was reading, and she didn't even know that she was about to be proposed to. So congratulations to her. And a very exciting moment. Okay, we've also got some other really good news that we want to tell you about, and this is over in Charlotte. One of our anchors at WBTV, Mary King, announced that she and her family, they're expecting baby number 2. Congratulations to Mary and her family. Oh, look at that. And her son Jax holding up that cute sign. Baby number 2 due in April. That is so exciting. Look at that. I'm getting promoted to Big Brother. How exciting. We are just so excited to hear about their family growing and new chapters for a lot of people here at the Gray Television and News Stations. Congratulations again to Mary and Hannah. All right, we need to get a check of the weather before we go because it is a very important weekend. It is Halloween weekend, of course. So let's get a final check of weather now with Adam Clark.
So kind of a breezy day for our Friday and also Saturday. So as we take a look at Saturday evening, we've got a few sprinkles here and there in South Carolina, North Carolina, partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy conditions and still on the breezy side. By Sunday, high pressure is building in. It's looking pretty good as this high moves in from the west. It clears up our skies. It's looking pretty good for the afternoon with lots of sunshine for your Halloween trick-or-treating. Looking pretty good because this big low finally exits. It pushes up to the north, and we've got high pressure building for Monday as well. So Monday's looking good at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with mostly sunny skies.
All right, that's what we want to hear heading into our Halloween weekend, but we are so glad that you joined us here for Carolina News Now on this Friday. We hope that you have a safe and exciting Halloween weekend. Again, I'm Chandler Morgan here in the Carolina News Now desk. You can watch us every Friday. We're streaming for you at 1 p.m. You can watch us on Roku, Amazon Prime, or Amazon Fire rather, and Apple TV, or you can just download your local streaming app. Really easy to do, and you can catch us on Facebook Live. Thanks for watching Carolina News Now. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend.